Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kelly. Like you don't know what this is, Sonosta Media's official channel. Alright, remember we create videos to help you maximize the potentials of all of our software solutions, including DorthPro. We have different type of software solutions for hotel management, hospital management, lounges, accounting and asset management systems, and so on and so forth. We also create videos to help those that want to dive into development, a roadmap, and also guide them on it. Right, so without further ado, let's dive into today. But do not forget to, before we dive in, do not forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel, and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our valuable content. Alright, so today we shall be looking at the inventory menu on DorthPro. We're still looking at DorthPro. DorthPro is our flagship software, sales and inventory software solution for small and medium scale businesses. Depending on the type of business you do, it just manages your sales and your inventory, right? Okay. So we've looked at the admin menu, we made a video on the admin menu, looked at it, we looked at the dashboard, and all that. So today let's look at inventory. Now let's look at the inventory. What does the inventory entail? So when it comes to quantity of items, the quantity in your inventory, you just go to the inventory menu. So the inventory menu helps manage your stock level, your order level. It also helps manage your purchases, helps manage your transfer from one location to the other. Okay, so let's look at it first. So we'll start by looking at the set reorder level. Remember, while in the previous video we did, while we're looking at the dashboard, we looked at set reorder level. Now the reorder level is a level an item, the level of quantity an item will get to before it tells you will soon run out of stock, right? So it tells you here on your notification here, like you see under here, you see the item that have reached reorder level. We are seeing there's one item that has reached the reorder level. The reorder level set for this item is 100 and the quantity is 23, right? So you can adjust the reorder level of items. So by default, the reorder level set for every item you create on the system is 10, but you can adjust them individually. For example, like this one, Emzo paracetamol, we said it's 100 now, so let's take it to 10 and I'll click on update. If I refresh my page now, you see this notification is now 0. So when I click on it now, there's no longer items that have reached the other level because it will still have quantity on that item. That's the essence of setting the other level for an item, so you can adjust it individually by clicking on the pencil sign behind it, right? Okay, then next is our stock balance. What's our stock balance? Our stock balance shows you what you currently have. Now it shows you the items or the quantity, what you currently have in store. This is different from your this one is different from what you currently have in this is different from the items you've created. So your stock balance is different from your item list. So item list only shows you all the items you have on your own that you have created that exist as an entity, while stock balance shows you the quantity, shows you the current quantity. You see if you're an admin, you can see the cost, unit cost, but if you're not an admin, you can only see the quantity of the items and their names, right? And at the bottom here, you see the worth of each product, the worth of the goods of that particular store. So this stock balance is only available, it's showing you what you have in the current store that you are logged into. So I'm in the main store, so I can only see what I have there. If I want to see other locations, I can switch store. Let's say I go to Badagry office, I come to inventory, click on stock balance. You see, and I only have 2 items here, Emzo and Danaseed, and you see the worth of what I have here is 26,250, right? And when I go back to the main store, I click on inventory, stock balance, you see here I have 5 items with a worth of 2,115,420. So for each item, you see this view button. Once you click on it, it actually displays the batches. You know, items can come in batches. Maybe the batches are determined by the expiration date. You might have one item that have 2 different batches. They have one group of items with different batches, so the system separates them for you, so you know which one you are adjusting from, which one you are selling from, right? So in this case here, so if I receive, if I still have Panadol Extra and I receive another batch, system, for example, Dana said here, if I receive another batch with different expiration, the system will separate it. So we'll see how we receive items shortly, right? So basically, this is your stock balance. So now let's see how you receive items, how you receive the quantity. So to receive item, when you go to the market, you come, or if you don't go to the market, maybe from your kitchen, if you're using a restaurant, or however the case may be, you have to receive your items. To receive an item, you simply come to the receive item menu, click on it. So you put in the invoice number. What's the invoice number? The invoice number, it's that number, is the number on the receipt that you use to buy these goods. So when you buy the goods from the market or you receive it, there's a number that is given to you that's on that receipt, on that invoice. So putting that number is important. Then now if there's no invoice number, you can put in that day's current date. So maybe that particular item, you don't buy it, or you manufacture it from, or you prepared it from the kitchen. So you can put the day's current date. So I can say 05/02/2025 as the 05/02/2025 as the invoice number. So in the next, you select the supplier. So I have two suppliers here. So if you want to, if it's the list of suppliers you have is not there, you can add your supplier. Right? If you don't have any supplier, and then once you create a supplier, there's no creating it again. You just select it. This is important because the system generates report that shows you how you received product. It shows you the suppliers that have supplied your product over time and what items they supplied you. So if your supplier is not, they just come to add supplier. You see still under the inventory menu, click on add supplier and put in the supplier's name. Let's say BSC Limited. Put in the contact person. Let me say James Brown. Then put in their phone numbers and the address. If they don't have, you can leave it that way. And you see, and go back to receive items. Put in the invoice number. So put in the invoice number, select the supplier. So you see now the supplier has been added. So let me say BSC Limited. Then this, you continue by inputting the name of the item on barcode, the item you want to receive. Let's say I'm receiving Panadol, for example. So I click, so I see it's showing me, I see I have 37 Panadol here. I click on it. So you put in the quantity. Now the quantity is going to be the unit quantity, not the if you buy in bulk, let's say 1 full box, you don't need to put in that 1 full box, please. You receive quantity based on how you sell. You receive based on how you sell, right? So if you sell in units, you have to put a quantity in units. So even if you buy like 2 box, that 2 box is equivalent to like 20 pieces. Maybe there's 10 per box, so you put in 20 pieces. You understand? So okay, so let's say we receive like 12 quantity. So at what, this is the last cost price we used to enter, we used to buy rather. So the last cost price we enter while we receive this particular item. So if there's a change, let's say the new cost price is 300, right? So the selling price now is how much? Do you want to increase the selling price? If you don't want to increase it, you leave it. Let's say I want to increase to 550. So the retail pack price, like I explained in the previous video, this selling price is the retail selling price. The retail pack price, for those that will be using it, is a particular price. It's like giving a specific a unique type of discount to customers. Since you sell per unit, let's say one is 515 naira. So if someone is buying in pack, let's say is buying like 10 and above or 20 and above, depending on the pack size, then you can say, okay, I want to be selling at the rate of 450. Right? When setting the pack price, it's important to also set up the pack size. So the pack size is the total number of quantity that makes up a pack. Right? For example, like this Panadol, a sachet is 550. Then there are 10 sachets that makes up a pack. So if I'm buying a pack, if somebody is buying a pack, I can decide to say, okay, I just click on the pack button when I'm selling. Once I click on the pack button, the system multiplies this pack price, which is 450, by 10. Okay, then the wholesale price, that's for those that are doing wholesale. If you are using the basic plan and the standard plan, you only see your retail price. You will not see wholesale and wholesale pack price as well. So wholesale is only meant for those that are using the professional plan. So I'm training with this professional plan because I believe you created a new account. So this, right? So you select the expiration date. It's important you select the expiration date. If I use the same expiration date, if I use today as the expiration date, it tells you cannot stock in expired items. So you have to put in expiration date. Items that have expired cannot go into the system. So I select my expiration date and I click on this green button. Voila. So at the bottom there shows me what I have entered. Panadol Extra, quantity 12, the unit cost, the unit sales, and the expiration date. It shows me the total. If there are still more items in that same invoice, you can continue by putting the name of the item again, putting the name of the other item. Let's say the next one is MCAP, for example. You see now there's no MCAP in the system. Be careful how you create it. If you're the one that created the items, you have to be sure you put in the exact name. So let's put in Enzo. So the Enzo paracetamol, but this MCAP. MCAP is different from Enzo paracetamol. So I'm looking for MCAP. So since there's no MCAP, what do I do now? I have to create it. So I don't want to close this entire page because I still want to continue on this invoice. So all I need to do is to open a new tab. How do you open a new tab? You see this, the logo, the DorthPro logo. Right, click on it and click on open link in new tab. So once you come here, you click, you see there's a new tab here. You can do that, or you simply click on this plus sign to open a new tab by putting in the URL again. Mine is a local, so you put in the URL for your company, right? It logs you in again. You're still the one that is still logging, right? So in here now, you can now go back to add the item, select the category, pharmacy, and I say cap. So remember, always be descriptive when creating your items. So let's say MCAP tab or MCAP create save. If I come back to this tab here, if I search my MCAP, you see I now have MCAP. So it means you can do multiple things at a time. Maybe you are selling and you want to attend to one customer, you can open a new tab to attend to another customer. So the MCAP here, let's say I'm receiving 40, cost price, let's say 250, selling price, let's say 450, retail pack price. It's not important you must put in the pack price, but there are some items you sell in pack. You can put, if you know you don't sell the item in pack, you want to still maintain that retail price, fine. So let's assume this item I don't do wholesale for it, or let me just put wholesale price 350. Mind you, none of your price should be greater than this. Especially your retail pack price should not be greater than the cost price. Okay, so your retail price rather. So I put in the expiration date. Alright, I'll say let me put the day. Mind you, there are some items that do not have expiration date. You can put in the distant date, like some drinks or maybe fruit and all that. However, then also there are situations where the expiration date, they did not put the day, they only put in the month and the year. So I always advise you put the last day of that month. Right, so you click on this and we are done. See, it has entered. So once you are done receiving items under this invoice number and this supplier, just click on close stocking. If there are other invoices that you want to receive from you, continue the process, put in the invoice number, select the supplier, and start entering the name. So that's how you receive item. We'll go back to stock balance now. You see Panadol Extra has increased to 49. Right, if I click on view, you see now we have two batches. Right, you see one is 22nd February, you can see here, right? So the other one is 1st December 2025. So we have two batch of paracetamol. So if I should refresh, you see now it's telling me that I have two items that will soon expire. One is the Panadol Extra, the batch we just entered, which would expire 22nd of February 12. Right, so everything you do, remember, is for that particular store you are logged in. These items we receive is for this store. If you want to receive items in another store, you can go and log in there. Or instead of receiving items in that store, why not transfer it from this location to that location? There's no need going through the process of receiving it again. Right, we'll look at how we transfer items shortly. Okay, going further, you can also adjust quantity of an item. Why do you adjust quantity? So maybe you do your normal stock count and you discover there's one or two anomaly, the values are not correct. You can adjust the quantity. To adjust the quantity, you just simply click on adjust quantity, put in the quantity that the item name you want to adjust. Let's say I'm just in MCAP, maybe I made a mistake. So I click on MCAP tab. It will show you all the batches, which batch are you adjusting from, right? So you select the batch. So let's use an item that has 2 batches, which is Panadol. Click on this. So I have 2 batches. So which batch do you want to adjust from? Let's say I'm adjusting this batch. Right, so this is the current quantity, so it's supposed to be 30, not 37. So if you want, you can also change the expiration date here if there's an issue with the expiration date. Then you click on save. So once you adjust it, you see Panadol Extra. Let's take it again. Panadol Extra is now 42 instead of the previous one it was before. So you see now it has been adjusted. Mind you, there's a report for every adjustment you do. There's a report for everything that goes on the system. And another video we shall look at all the different reports for adjustment, for removal, for receiving of items, and all that. So now next one, you can also remove item. Now in this one is different from adjustment in the sense that adjustment you can adjust by increasing or reducing, but for removal you are just reducing. Now removal, you remove item due to 2 reasons, maybe due to expiration or due to damage. If you want to remove an item, don't adjust, just remove it. If an item is expired rather, or an item is damaged, remove it. Don't go and use adjustment. Adjustment is only meant for maybe there's an error while you are receiving item, you made a mistake, right? So you can adjust that. Then maybe you did your monthly stock count. Then now let's remove quantity. To remove quantity, you put in the quantity of the item. Let's see in cap. Now we discovered that maybe while we are chefing it with damage 2. So I put in the 2 I'm removing. To select your reason, is it expiration or damages? Let's say damages, and I save. So it says 2M cap removed successfully. Right, so if you go back and check the quantity of M cap now, it would have moved from, you can see it here at the bottom, M cap 38. Let me search it so you see it properly. So M cap is now 38. Right, so now that's when we can also adjust the expiration of an item by clicking on adjust expiration. Now you just want to adjust the expiration, not anything. Just click on the item, it shows you all the batches as well. You click on this pencil beside it and enter the new date. Right, that's how you adjust. Now, like I said earlier, there are situations where you have multiple locations and you want to move one item to another. You want to move items that you receive into this store. You want to move some to another location, or maybe your staff, they want something and they don't have it on the system, you want to move it to them. Then you can move it to them physically, but before that you have to transfer it from the system into their system. So how do you transfer items? So you click on transfer items, select the store which you are transferring to. So it shows you all the available stores where we have warehouse, Badagry office, and warehouse 2. So let's select Badagry office for example. So now you put in the item you want to transfer. Let's say I'm transferring the M cap that we just bought. So I click on it. Once I click on it, it shows you again which batch are you transferring from. So I'm transferring from this batch. So I click on this pencil. Right, put in the quantity. Let's say I'm transferring 12 to them. So I click on this plus sign, automatically it comes here. Said oh. So if there's a mistake, you can always delete by clicking on the delete button and entering, and then enter it again. However, if there are more items you still want to transfer to them, you want to add to them, you continue. Let's say I'm transferring Panadol Extra. Click on it again. You see there's a batch. So maybe I want to transfer to them from this batch, the top batch in 30 quantity. I click on it. So I'm transferring 10 to them. Click. You see it's adding up. So once I'm done, at this point it has not gone to them, so everything is still intact. So once I'm done, I have to click on post transfer. So once I click on post transfer, so are you sure you want to post this transfer? I click OK. At this point, the quantity has been moved from your inventory. It has been moved from your inventory and has gone to theirs. But it will not enter their inventory, it will hang in the air. Let's put it like that. So basically they will have to accept it first before it will go into their inventory. You can print the receipt like a way bill to attach to the physical goods to go and give to them, showing you all the items and the total items there. So okay, so that's how you transfer items. So other things you can see they're spending transfer. What is spending transfer? Maybe you are transferring an item, let's say warehouse. Now we are transferring paracetamol for example. And while transferring the paracetamol, see their batch, I select this batch. Let's say I'm transferring 3. I click. Yes, I was transferring this item and something came up, maybe my system went off, or I mistakenly refreshed the page, or I didn't finish, or I started doing other transactions, or I was logged out of the system, and I know that I'm not done transferring. I can just go and click on pending transfer. You see the transfers that are there. You click on view, you see the previous transfer you were making. So at the end of the day, just click on post transfer, then it's gone. Once you click on post transfer, then we are done there. Okay, so that's how you transfer items. So how about accepting these items that we have transferred? We have to accept them. How do we accept them? To accept an item, you need to click on the accept button. Right, so you click on accept button and there's nothing here, or you click on this icon here, this notification showing incoming transfer, the last notification here, click on it. It said there's no, it's because I did not transfer any item to my store, so I transferred item to other store. So I click on, let me switch store to Badagry office. So in the Badagry office, see now I am seeing 2 incoming transfer. When I click on it, or I go to inventory and click on accept items, you see the items here. So I can either accept or I reject, right? So I see their MCAP tab 12. If I count the physical stock and it's okay, I click on accept. Once I click on accept, automatically it will go into my inventory. So you see now we now have MCAP tab in our stock balance. We didn't have before, right? So the next one, if I still go back to accept items, and we still have a Panadol extra here. If it's correct, now there are times maybe what they send to you is not correct. If it's not correct, you can just reject it by clicking on this reject item. You can reject it here, so it has come back. Once I reject it, if I refresh my page, then there's no incoming transfer. So once you reject, it's important you also inform the people that transferred it to you that you've rejected an item, so that they can receive it back into their system and do the necessary adjustment. How do they receive that? You click on return transfer. You see the item that was returned. They have to accept it, so it goes back into their inventory. Then they can do the correction to that and transfer it again, right? So then also there's you can also reprint a transfer receipt. Transfer an item, so you want to reprint the receipt or reprint the receipt to be sure you can view it to see which item. You can see the status there, right? Then just click on print and you print that receipt. Then lastly is all stock balance. Now we've been looking at the stock balance per store, each store you're logged into, but there are times you can also log into your stock balance. You can check the stock balance of all your locations combined together. So this is showing you the stock balance of all your stores combined together, combining all the items. So at a glance you know the worth of all the goods you have. However, if you want to see each store separately, you can select the store. So I see men's store here. Warehouse, I see only that for warehouse, there's nothing there. Badagry office, right? Warehouse 2, and so on and so forth. Alright, so that's it for the inventory today. So in our next video we shall be looking at sales, how you sell these items before we start looking at all the general reports. So thank you so much for watching. Do well to give us a thumbs up. If there's any question or any comment, you can add it in the comment below. So we look forward to seeing you on our next video. Thanks.